I'm back for another one. I'm gonna try not to make this as long as my Gonna Control for Dummies video. I'm gonna try to keep it kind of short, but I don't know. We'll see where it goes. This one is about government. Okay. And I ain't gonna go into the whole Republican, Democrat, conservative, all this crap. Okay, I'm not gonna get into it because it doesn't really make a shit at this point in time in my eyes. It doesn't. When did it become a point to where the people just go along with whatever the government says? It's not the way this is supposed to go. It's not the way that this country was founded for this to go. It wasn't made to just go along with what the government says and just take the good with the bad. That's not what we were built on. And I know that there's no way in hell that you can make everybody happy. Okay, I know. I'm not talking about being able to satisfy everybody. It's impossible. What I'm talking about is government who is overreaching its boundaries. For God's sakes, people, they're talking about taking away our guns. Our Second Amendment rights. The God-given rights that are guaranteed to us by the Constitution of which this country was built upon. And I know I made a couple of gun videos before, and I'm not going to try to strictly stay focused on that. And that's not my point, is to try and take away my guns. This isn't a gun debate. This is a free country debate. This is being free as individuals. If you sit back and you think about it, and people, y'all are going to look at me and say, he's a young guy, you don't know what he's talking about. But really, if you think about what I'm saying, I really do. Think about over the past 50, 75 years of this country. You can't say whatever you want to say, because it's all became into a politically correctness game. You can't say something that might offend somebody or hurt somebody's feelings, because my God, then it turns into a hate crime or a racist or a sexist or something like that. You can't say what you want to say anymore, so they've already put their fucking foot in the door on your First Amendment right. And that's from the whole system, from top to bottom. Well, no, you can't say that because it might offend somebody. And if you offend somebody, then that could be a hate crime because you're a racist or you're a sexist. And we're going to take that. They're not directly stomping on your freedom of speech, but they're doing it. They've been doing it slowly but surely. You can't say what you want to say anymore. You can't. You can't. And everybody's like, well, yeah, but you shouldn't want to hurt people's feelings. And anyway, it's not the fact that I want to just go out and hurt somebody's feelings or go out and offend somebody because I fucking feel like it. But my God, if I feel the way that I feel with what I say, then I don't give a damn if I hurt your feelings. I don't give a damn if I'm politically correct. It's not my reason for saying it. I'm not saying it to try to gain any freaking respect out of anybody. I say the stuff that I believe in. And I have that right to the full extent. I should not be censored in any form, fashion, or manner. Period. And back to what I originally was saying. When did we make the switch from the people working for the government to the government working for the people? We sit back and we're like, well, the government thinks this will work, and no, I really don't agree with it, but he's done that good, so maybe we should just go along with this. And like I said, there's no way you can make everybody happy, but the people who don't agree with something that political parties do or the president does nowadays, and they are outspoken against it, then they're automatically shunned and targeted. I don't understand. Just because I don't like what he's doing doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean I should be targeted. But that is what is happening. The people who are outspoken against the government and who are openly discussing the stuff that they disagree with the stuff that the government's doing, these people are getting targeted. You know, I can understand if you're threatening somebody's life, why you would be targeted then. Okay, I get that. But just openly disagreeing and then you're gonna nail him to the wall. I mean, and yeah, I'm going back to Ted Nugent because I mean the man. I look up to the man. But you know, people hear that he got in trouble in California for hunting, and he got in trouble in Alaska for hunting, and oh my God, he quote unquote shit his pants to get out of the Vietnam War, and he dodged the draft and all this other crap. But I mean, do you ever hear about the thousands of dollars that he donates to countless charities every year? The record-breaking donations that he's given. Wounded warriors and leukemia. And, I mean, you don't hear about the crap. And that's another thing, is the press. Is this whole government-ran media. You hear what they want you to hear. Period. You hear the bad stuff about Ted Nugent because he's open about disagreeing with the government. He is open about disagreeing with gun control. He openly discusses the Benghazi attacks and all this other stuff that he does, and he openly talks about. They don't like it because it's against the government. It makes them, and he brings valid points to the table, and they don't like having logical, valid points brought to the table that makes them look bad. So they dig up dirt on everybody that is against them, and they throw them under the bus. But you never hear about the countless good acts that they do. Another subject I'm going to touch on real quick. For all the pro-gun people, you know who Charles Heston was, right? You know, big, outspoken dude for Second Amendment rights. Well, give y'all a quick, for who don't know him. He traveled the U.S. countless places, openly outspoken for the Second Amendment rights and the right to bear arms without any pay. He never asked anything from anybody. And then I know it's old, but I came across it just a little while ago. As Jim Carrey's sorry ass decided to make a music video talking shit about this man after he had passed. And at the end of it, he committed suicide, and then Heston committed suicide, and he came in, and his kids found the gun, and they did it, and they killed themselves, and then the mom came home and found everything she didn't want to do, and she killed herself, and it was all in the name of him not wanting to let it go of his guns and all that. I will never watch anything again with Jim Carrey's name even closely attached to it. That son of a bitch can rot in hell. You want to say something, say it to the man's face when he's alive. You don't go after he's passed and talk shit. That's the most cowardly, spineless act that I have ever heard. But, then again, if you're that big of a freaking puss, I guess you do what you have to do. But I know Heston would be freaking throwing a party in his grave, knowing that even after his death, he still pisses people off enough to the point to where they do stuff like that. But anyway, I'm getting off subject. The government is slowly starting to tread on the American people. And us as the American people have we've let the roles be switched somehow. We let the people start working for the government. Excuse me. And not the government working for the people. That's not how it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be, well, okay, then I guess I'll just sit here and deal with it. No. No. That's what we fought to get the hell away from. You have the right to say what you want to say, and you have the right to do what you want to do, as long as it's not going out and killing people or raping people or anything like that. I'm not saying just, oh my god, everybody go on a freaking spree. That's not what I'm saying. But when are we going to stop letting these people walk all over us, and us just sit here and go, well, there's nothing we can do, it's the government? I mean, and if you think that everything's all fine and dandy in the government and everything else, I'll give you just a small example and then I'll end this video, alright? If you want me to say any more, or if you have any responses, hit me up, we'll have a conversation. But it's like the Mexico border situation. Free men and women who's not getting paid to do this gathered up their arms and went to the border to protect the United States. On their own free will, just jumped up and said, you know what, this is what we need to do, this is what we're going to do. This is after threats of ISIS and all coming over the border from Mexico and everything else. They get down there, and the federal employees, the federal law officers who are down there, told them they need to stand down, they need to back off. Now I know everybody's heard the rumors of these illegal immigrants coming through and getting passports and money and social security cards and all that given to them by the government and social security offices. Now, if that wasn't true, then why would the federal government tell the militia to stand down? Because if anything, hell, if I wanted a job done, I'd call it militia. I'll call free men and women who wasn't doing it for the money, but to do it because that's what they feel that it needs to be done. That's the people I'd want doing the job for me. You know, hell, in my thoughts, I'll gather these some bitches up and throw them in a big freaking fenced-in area. Just fuck it, just throw them all in there. Let them live. Do whatever the hell they think they need to do. But no, we keep sending them back. We're either bringing them in and giving them passports and money and social security cards, or we're just sending them back over there. And they'll come back the next time, they'll come back the next time, they'll come back the next time until they get lucky. Or they get picked up by one of the frickin' buses who's taking them to social security offices. But, I mean, it's just a small frickin' fraction of what the hell is going on in America today. This movie, or this video, it's kind of spaced out. It's touched on several different subjects, but I mean, my main point of this is to all the American people. Stop working for the government. The government works for you. Works for us. It's time we start remembering that. It's time we stop being scared of something that we're supposed to be in charge of. We let this slide over past years. I think it's time to dig in our heels and start pulling back the other way. Or we're going to be in deep shit. And we're already in deep shit, but it's just going to continue to get deeper. It's time to wake up. Stop being the sheep the government wants you to be. Start being an American.